Okay, class, good afternoon. Good afternoon sa inyo. This is our topic for today, specifically for this week rather, because sabi ko nga pupunta ako ng Escofar and that is why hindi ako makakapag-attend ng face-to-face class discussion, and therefore I decided to make this video presentation para nang sa ganun ay tuloy-tuloy pa din yung learnings natin. Medyo madami kasing topics talaga yung Comma 100. So, hangga't kaya, dapat gumagawa tayo ng paraan para maaral pa rin siya. So, ayun. Umpisahan natin itong part 2 ng ating lesson. This is all about communication and globalization. Okay, class. So, based on our last discussion, ang ating napag-usapan is all about the communication process, hindi ba? The communication principles, and also the ethics in communication. So a brief recap about that. I discussed to you that communication is all about the exchange of information, diba? In order for us to attain the common understanding from one person to another. So meaning class, when we are communicating, it's not just about that we are trying to say what's on our mind or what are we feeling. It's also about in the purpose of attaining the common understanding or para mas mapaliwanag natin yung isang bagay sa isang tao nang sa ganon ay maunawaan niya and also makabuo ng tinatawag nating feedback. Because class, di ba, in communication, if we will still remember it, it's a kind of loop. So kung tatandaan nyo dun sa unang model, kaya sa isang model na inintroduce ko sa klase natin, that is the Shannon-Weaver communication model, 'di ba? It's a mathematical model class. So initially back in times, ito talaga ay walang feedback. Kasi ipinakikita lang dito kung paano natatransmit yung information from a source to the receiver. So bakit ba nilagyan ng mga other scholars like ni Norbert Wiener, bakit ba niya nilagyan ng feedback ito? Ito class ay para ibigyan ng emphasis yung sinabi naman ni Theo Hyman na ang communication ay hindi nga lang all about it's exchanging, hindi lang about sa pagpapas ng information, but also it's an exchange of information class in order for us to attain the common understanding. Okay, so now we are about to discuss naman communication and globalization. So whenever you hear about the word globalization, what comes to your mind? Hindi ba? Ang globalization class is a process. It's a process in which we exchange also the ideas, everything that is around us. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit ang mundo natin ngayon ay patuloy na nagpro-progress because of globalization. Hindi lang ideas ang nagkakaroon ng exchange, kundi mismong mga tao sa mundo. So yun po. Let's dive right into our main discussion. Wait lang, I'm quite struggling on how to navigate this Zoom. Hindi ko siya malipat. Just wait. Okay, class. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, medyo na ano ko na siya na kita ko na on how to navigate this Zoom. Anyway, okay, class. So we're in we're done with this very intro. So yan, medyo may access na ako ngayon kung ano yung nakita ko sa screen. Meron palang mag-talk ng walang nakikita. So ako naman, parang nanibago na naman sa Zoom. Anyway, okay. So this one, next slide. Puntahan natin yung tinatawag na this very wonderful text. Let me just notate. Ayan. So, sabi dito class, communication catalyzes globalization. So what does it mean? This is a very wonderful sentence, no? Sinasabi dyan that communication catalyzes globalization. Catalyze class is such a wonderful word. Kasi parang pinahihiwatig nito sa atin, well, in chemistry, di ba? It's the process in which we speed up a chemical reaction. So sa chemistry, ganun siya. Ibig sabihin, ang sinasabi niya lang dito, class, is it's a kind of thing na nag-spark ng panibagong action. So sa pamamagitan daw, class, ng communication, nati-trigger yung globalization. So ibig sabihin, dahil may communication, patuloy nangyayari ang globalization. But in social sciences, class, if we will define globalization, di ba kaya siya nangyayari kaya patuloy na may pagbabago, kaya patuloy na may change sa mundo, it's because ang tao ay patuloy na merong pangangailangan. So paano natin na-attain ang mga pangangailangan na yon? It's when we communicate. Okay? So that's why communication plays an important role in this topic. Sabi ko nga, in the very first day of our class, that communication is everywhere. Okay, so this one, next slide, when we say globalization, in defining it, it is described as the structural phenomenon of increasing interdependence among various parts of the world. That is according to Cornali and Terocci. So pag sinabi nating interdependence, class, ibig sabihin nito yung dalawang bansa, no? Dalawang bansa or higit pa ay nagde-depend sa isa't isa for common good. So when we say phenomenon, ito raw ay isang pangyayari, ano? So yun nga, ang mga bansa sa mundong ito, di ba nga may kasabihan din tayo that no man is an island. So ganun din naman ang bawat bansa sa mundo kung titingnan natin to sa malaking konsepto. Walang bansa, yun talaga namang kayang mag-survive alone. Because in this very world that we are living, lahat tayo, class, ay interdependent sa isa't isa. So ngayon, globalization happens. That's why it takes us also to the understanding of the transformation, advancement, and of course, the what we call interdependence. So yung tatlo na yan, class, na nabanggit natin, that is also falling under the what we call the major aspects of globalization. Anyway, let me explain further yung mga kaya kong explain about this slide. So, defining globalization first. You may search for it if you want to, class, but yeah, in this lesson, let me define globalization sa madaling sabi, kung saan ito ay isang proseso kung saan yung mga tao, class, and then the culture, as well as economy, technology, no, and information, they are becoming increasingly connected and interdependent across the world. Ibig sabihin, ang mundo natin ay para bang nagiging isang wala ng boundaries. It's because yung people, yung mga tao, sabi ko nga sa inyo, patuloy na nagkakaroon ng exchange, and also yung kultura na dadala natin sa yung kultura natin na ipakikita natin sa ibang bansa. Ang kultura ng ibang bansa na ipakikita rin sa atin. So that is globalization. It's a process of a continuous exchange of people, culture, economy, whatever falls under it, no? That makes the world even more interconnected. Sa madaling sabi, class, globalization is how the world becomes more connected. Yung mga ideas natin, ang bilis na lang nating maiparating. So one example, if I would ask you, class, is our phone, our smartphones that we have right now. So dati, para makakonect kina ate at kuya or kina nanay at tatay na nasa abroad, kailangan pa nating sumulat at maghintay ng matagal na panahon. Pero ngayon, class, sabi ko nga sa inyo, parang wala. Ang ating mundo ay borderless. Yun yung gusto kong sabihin. Borderless. Kung sino yung nasa karatig ka, nasa kabilang panig ng mundo, mabilis mo nang matatawagan. That is a product of globalization. So it quickly affects the way how we live our lives right now and the other part of this world. Okay. So going back here, these are the three major aspects of globalization. Yung aspeto, anyo o mukha ng globalization, no? Unang-una po yung transformation. So pag sinabi natin transformation sa Tagalog, pagbabago. So this refers to the changes in economy, our culture, and our society. For example, if back in times, wala tayong idea how do the people in Japan, for example, live their lives. But right now, ang bilis na lang nating malaman. For example, sa Korea, ano ba yung mga paborito nilang pagkain? So, dati, parang mababasa mo lang siya sa magazine. If wala kang magazine, wala kang idea kung ano bang kinakain ng mga tao ron, no? Wala ka namang nakakausap na Koreano. Pero ngayon, sa pamamagitan ng globalization, alam na rin po natin yan. So, transformation. Sa pamamagitan din ng mga karunungang natututunan natin, class, naka-a-adapt tayo. So, kung dati yung kimchi nasa Korea lang, ngayon, nasa Pilipinas na rin. Meron na din tayong samgyupsal. 'Di ba? So, transformation. Next na aspeto nito ay ang tinatawag nating the advancement of technology or advancement of technology. This is referring to the numerous technological revolution for interconnected society. So, sa madaling sabi, class, lahat ng development when it comes to technology. If back in times we only use a radio to communicate, right now we have our smartphones. So, advancement of technology. Next off, we have here the pangatlong aspect. It is the global interdependence. So again, class, what is interdependence? If we will define it, it's the process, class, na kung saan ang isa o higit pang o dalawang bansa o higit pa ay nagiging dependent po sa isa't isa for common good. When we say interdependence, hindi lang siya sa mga bansa, no? Maaring tao o kung ano man yan. But since globalization ng ating usapan, we are referring to the countries in this world. So when we say the global interdependence, class, it's for people and culture becomes a norm of life. Kumbaga, yun nga, mas nagmi-meet sila, mas kaya nilang magkaroon ng uh, common understanding and sharing of their very culture. Okay, so aralin natin ngayon isa-isa. Let's dive in pa rin, no? O ano-ano nga ba to? Palalimin natin. Transformation, changes in the economy, culture, and society. So these pictures or these photos, class, refers to the very process of transformation. For example, if back in times we need to, if we need something like shoes, pupunta tayo sa mga malls. But right now we have the online selling platforms like the Lazada, Shopee, Shein, whatsoever. So that's an example of transformation sa pagbili, no? Buying and selling. Globalization. Next, we have here these photos. Diba? So if back in times, we only utilize money, these bills. Ngayon, meron na tayong cashless payment. Okay? Pwede po GCash, pwede po tap ang card. So yung mga ganyan. That's an example of transformation. So before pa, if we're going back to time na mas malayo pa talaga, no? Hindi naman uso talaga yung bills. Anong ginagamit ng tao noon? Ha, pag may gusto silang bilhin. So noon, yung asin ipinapalit sa ginto. Meron tayong tinatawag din na bartering, no? Kung saan nagpapalitan yung mga tao ng produkto. So, ayan, naimbento ang pera. Ngayon, naimbento ang mga cashless transactions. That's an example of transformation. Changes on the way how we live our lives. Next. So, how do you interpret this? This is a very good topic to discuss in face-to-face setting. So, dito tinatanong ko, ano ba yung opinion nyo about this? 70s, 80s, and 90s babies can relate daw. So, pretend you're talking on the phone. What would be your hand gesture. So, this one, it's a clip, no? If I would interpret it, parang sinasabi ko, magkaiba yung pamumuhay ng 70s, 80s, and 90s versus sa pamumuhay na meron tayo ngayon sa 21st century. When it comes to transformation class, lahat sa atin ngayon almost ay fast-paced. Sabihin, lahat, sanay tayo sa madalian. Mga slow mornings, medyo madalang yan. Well, not for me. I'm still choosing most of my mornings na slow morning siya. So, yun po. So what are the other example of transformation class? For example, the landline. Landline back then na-imbento ang mga cellular phones. And from these cellular phones, na-imbento ang mga smartphones. And then from letters, pinapadala pa sa kalapate. Ngayon, meron na tayong emails. Anyway, next major aspect of globalization class, we have here the advancement of technology. Second one, so it refers to the technological revolutions, mga pagbabago, no? Changes. So yan. This one, the email, the social media accounts, and then the YouTube accounts that we have right now. These are the examples of one of the examples when it comes to the advancement in technology. Meron na tayo ngayon mga social media. Back in times, wala naman nun lahat, no? So yung mga tao, wala pang idea kung paano ba nabubuhay yung kapwa niya. Ngayon kasi ang bilis na yan, no? So may mabuting nadudulot at may hindi mabuting na idudulot. At sa mabuti, ano ba yung mga nagagawa nito? Siyempre, mas nagkaka-idea tayo kung kumusta siya, is she doing well, is she okay? So yeah, but on the other side, natitrigger nito yung tinatawag nating mga kalungkutan because we tend to compare our lives sa pamumuhay ng ibang tao. So, if we have a coin class, no, and you toss the coin, we have here the bird, the tail, and then yung tao or ibon. Di ko alam Tagalog nung ano nung English nung ganun. So we have the tao and the ibon. So if the other face of the coin, which is the tao, that is the good side, syempre, pag tinos mo yung coin, ano ba yung nasa kabaliktaran ng good side? That is the bad side. So if the coin signifies the advancement in technology class, sinasabi lang niya na ito ay may positive at may negative side effects sa pamumuhay natin. So eto, kagaya ng nangyayari sa atin ngayon, one of the proofs of the advancement in technology is the way how we interact with each other or with one another. If back in times we need to meet sa isang lugar para makapag-aral, makipaglaro, ngayon meron ng online games, meron ng online platforms. We have here the Zoom, no? Lahat yan from virtual interaction, from in-person interaction to virtual interaction and video conferences. So that's it, advancement in technology. So the world has become sleepless world, no? The operations of various businesses and organizations has become nonstop. That's the reality class. So ito yung pangatlong aspect. The global interdependence for people and culture becomes the norm of life. So this is really happening around us. For example, in the BPO industry, in which it is another product of globalization. Paano ko nasabi? Yung mga tao sa BPO class, 'di ba? Especially in the Philippines, ito ay produkto ng tinatawag din nating letter C siya nagsi-start. Kapitalismo. Ayan. Ang talagang pinaglilingkuran natin ay mga bansa sa ibang bansa in the European countries, for example. The best example, should I say, in the European countries. And sino ang hinahire nila? Mga Filipinos. Saan sila nagbi-build ng mga hubs para dito? Sa Pilipinas. So, while the people here in the Philippines are working, they need to serve clients doon na nagtatrabaho sa umaga, no? And these Filipinos class are working in the GY shift. Ano yung GY shift? It's the graveyard shift, no? Nagtatrabaho sila sa gabi para paglingkuran ang mga foreigners na nagtatrabaho naman sa araw. So it's a sign of global interdependence, class, no? The world has become really sleepless. Hindi mo na madadahilan ngayon na ikaw nasa lugar na ganit na gabi na, hindi ka matatawagan because the internet, sabi nila yung pagpa-pronounce daw nun, no, ay laging present. So, pag meron nun, mas wala tayong takas. The world that we are living right now is non-stop. So yan, example, the call center industry or the BPOs. So not to mention pa yung mga OFWs natin, class, no? Na parang yung sa mabuting sabi, so ito yung medyo hindi magandang side. Anyway, class, when it comes to work naman, lahat ng kayang bumuhay hanggat sa malinis na pamamaraan is okay lang. On the other side of this global interdependence, class, yung mga OFW, sino dito yung anak ng OFW? So, sina nanay at tatay, kahit namimiss natin, hindi na kailangan maghintay ng napakahabang panahon para makausap sila. Because we have the Skype, dati pa pala yung Skype, no? We have the video call in Messenger, etc. So, madali na lang nakakausap ngayon. The global interdependence, once again. So, what are what do you call this? Cause and effect. Okay, what are the effects naman ng tinatawag nating global interdependence? As we have here, the first one, the cross-cultural appreciation. On the positive side, class, okay? We have here the cross-cultural appreciation, understanding, and of course, the adaptation. It's when the food, language, the fashion, the trends, class, is almost everywhere. For example, yung sabi ko nga sa inyo, K-pop. The K-pop, this one, saan galing? Eh, di sa Korea. Sino dito yung fan ng K-pop? Fan ni Nancy ng Momoland ba yun? And also ni Lisa ng Blackpink. So, Blackpink in your area. Anyway, sayang, no? So, yun, nagjo-joke ako. So, cross-cultural appreciation, understanding, and adaptation, syempre ito yung positive side ng global interdependence. Yung mga tao, mas nagiging connected and also, hindi tayo nagiging judgmental, nababawasan yung pang-stereotype natin sa isang kultura ng dahil lang sa mga prejudice na meron tayo. So, yun po. Example niyan, ayan, cross-cultural appreciation, the Korean dramas, our fashion, ano ba, yung pagbuboots, no? Hindi naman talaga ganun yung passion ng mga Pilipino. Na-adapt yan from the either Europeans or the Americans, for example, the way how we are dressing up. So that's part of the global interdependence. Ngayon, yung mga lalaki naghihikaw na rin, pwede na rin mag-lipstick. If back in times, parang hindi siya masyadong tanggap as a form of masculinity, but because of this cross-cultural appreciation, nakikita natin sa mga K-pop, nagli-lipstick sina Jungkook, nagli-lip gloss sila, nag-eyeliner sila, naghihikaw sila, whatsoever, etc. Nakikita natin yon, and then these young people of the generations, nag-a-adapt sila doon. Ganun na rin yung fashion. Ang mga lalaki, okay lang na mag-lip balm, okay lang pala na mag-hikaw. So yun. Cross-cultural appreciation, understanding, and most of all, this one, adaptation. So ngayon, anong resulta nito? Sabi ni Chen class, no? Sabi ni Chen, 2005, that the flux and complexity of changes will continue to increase in the years ahead and challenge the fundamental assumptions and beliefs on which the modern people have learned to live. So pag sinabi natin, class, na napakaganda nito, isa to sa mga paborito kong linya dito sa ating PowerPoint. So the world, class, is complex. Komplikado ito. Mabilis at talaga namang patuloy na nagbabago. So explain muna natin, ano ba yung kahulugan ng flux? Pag sinabi natin, class, na flux, it means constant change or movement. So, ipinakikita talaga dito sa claim ni Chen na yung mundo talaga natin is ever-changing, it is dynamic, and it will never be static. So globalization creates the rapid shifts in the technology, what else? Economy, culture, and then media. So dahil dun sa rapid shift na yun, class, sa mabilisang pagbabago na to, sa teknolohiya natin, ekonomiya, kultura, lalong-lalo na sa media, no? Yung mga tao, kailangan din nating makasabay. Ngayon, may tanong ako sa inyo. Sino ba ang gumagawa ng pagbabago or ng globalization na to? Sa palagay nyo ba, globalization ang nagtitrigger sa tao sa pagbabago o ang tao ang nagtitrigger sa patuloy na pagbabago ng globalization? So that's the question that I would like you to reflect. So, ayan nga, nasabi ko naman na that our world is no longer static. So next, ano yung magiging bunga ng flux na to and complexity, the constant change, no? It will serve as in the coming years of our lives. There will be challenges regarding on the way how we live, no? Maaring yung mga routines natin, class, patuloy na magbago. For example, right now, nung ako ay bata pa, naalala ko, ang misa ay kinakailangan mong gumising ng napakaaga. Kasi ang mga matatanda noon, normally maaagang nagpupunta sa simbahan. But right now, what can we observe or what do I observe? May mga misa na nagaganap tuwing alas 5 ng hapon. Dati po, hindi ko naman naranasan yon. So bakit? Marami kasi sa mga kabataan din ngayon at sa mga tao ngayon, no? Hindi lang man mga kabataan, talagang nagigising tayo ng tanghali na kasi nga sa gabi nung tayo gising, no? Kaya naman medyo pa madaling araw na nakakatulog. And therefore, nagkakaroon ng changes. So isa lang 'yan sa mga example ng pagbabago on the way how we live our lives. So our traditional beliefs, if that's so, our traditional beliefs, routines, and the ways of thinking, um, maybe revolutionize also, and they may no, some of them may no longer fit in our globalized society, especially in this interconnected world. But this is a reminder that I would like you to take, class. Hindi lahat ng ninonormalize ng ating lipunan ay tama when it comes to morals. Okay? So yeah, share ko lang. Okay, so now in this one, people should acquire. Anong gagawin natin sa pagbabago na yan, no? We cannot beat these changes. Hindi natin yan mababago, mapipigilan, maaawat, whatsoever. Para yung isang ilog na kahit harangan mo, hahanap at hahanap ng butas para makalabas o makadaloy. So, therefore, class, we should learn to adapt. People should acquire knowledge and skills that account for global communication competence. And that is why we are studying, and that is why you have this lesson. Okay? It's for our own good then, in order for us to adapt in this ever-changing world or society. Global communication, class, competence can help you from the different cultures to communicate effectively and productively in a globalizing society. Wala na, nagbago na talaga yung mundo natin. Kung kaya naman, ang gagawin na lang natin ay i-equip yung sarili natin ng mga kaalaman on how we can adapt with this ever-changing world. And that is why we need the what we call global communication competence. Okay. So, anong sinasabi ng lahat na to? Globalization is irreversible. Ano yung irreversible? Hindi natin mababago. Okay? Wala na tayong magagawa. Ito talaga ay natural na nangyayari. Again, my question, the reflective question that I would like us all to reflect with. Ang tao ba ang nagkukos ng globalization o ang tao ba ang nagkukos ng globalization o dahil sa globalization kung bakit ang mga tao ay patuloy na nagbabago? So yun po. If globalization is irreversible, going back here, sabi ko nga kanina, we cannot beat it and therefore we just join it, equipped with the necessary skills. So we have to keep on moving forward. So yeah, it is just too strong. We have to learn to swim with it. So yun lang po yung unang part ng ating discussion about the introduction in globalization and communication. So my next part pa ang ating discussion. I'll be cutting the slides from here. So gagawa ulit ako ng isa pang video lesson.